We'll begin our journey by relaxing ourselves using only our breath. Let yourself breathe in and out at a rate that's exactly right for you. Try breathing in a little bit more deeply. As the breath moves in and out of you, imagine it brings in a spacious, warm openness that each breath you take in widens you, just like sunlight breaking into a darkened room. You breathe in an expansive sense of light, of growth, the air brightening, everything becoming fresher. Feel inside your body, scan for where you might be tired, worn out, where your mind might be overworked by the day you've had so far. Anywhere in you that needs rest, needs peace and calm, take your warm golden breathing to those parts of your body and your mind. Imagine the gold warmth is moving through those parts, and it takes away any hardness where the bones have been locked in place, any lingering headaches. Move those out on your breath away from you. Keep breathing in and out, a wheel of unending space, of deepening calmness. As you breathe in and out, allow that little point of you that thinks, that normally lives and sits just between the eyes, to rise up on your breath. As light as a speck of dust, it's carried onwards, outwards. This speck of thought will go with us on our adventure today. Your physical body can be left where it is, safe, tethered like a balloon to the earth. Imagine you're standing before a wall of colourful shrubs, flowering trees, rising up into a blue sky. Look how high they grow, much taller than you are. Before you at knee level, the shrubs are speckled with reds and violets. Behind those flower heads moving in the gentle breeze, there are taller trees, their leaves with different colours in, turning silver as the wind moves them. Faced with this wall of green, with this flow of colours, sense them, be aware of the differing aromas of those living things. You'll hear the leaves blowing, the drone of insect wings, the birds calling. It's a wall of sound before you, flavouring the breeze itself here at the height of spring. A living curtain without gaps. Let this scene build for a couple of moments and use all of your senses. There's an opening among the shrubs that wasn't there before. A gap leads inwards, and if you duck down, begin moving forwards, you'll find you can walk into a leafy tunnel. This tunnel is formed out of living willow strands, thin stalks curving overhead. Leaves bush out from these stalks, and they infuse the light with a faint apple green. This willow rustles when you brush against it. You know that bright sunshine is just beyond these willow leaves, these curving stalks. The outside world is only inches away. You explore this green corridor, following as it curves left and right. Time itself thickens and slows. The network of plants, this single living willow, leaves you feeling tranquil, as if you are hidden. Let your feet go automatically, absorbing this state of peace. As you walk, you'll notice sounds from outside the tunnel of green, past those leaves you can never quite see through. Out there in the sunlight, you can hear living things. Sometimes they brush close to the willow, a shadow passes by for a second. Other times you only hear them, distantly. Sheep, cows, the dog snuffling outside as you move on by. Another time, you hear scratches of conversation, faint laughter, as if people are pausing from labour. You hear a faint bell in a village, children playing in the distance, the drone of a plane far overhead. Then the tunnel widens. You're entering a room-sized dome of green. It contains furniture also made out of willow. There's a bed covered in soft green moss. There are woven chairs around a table, all of them sprouting, alive, but holding their original shapes. Lie back on this mossy bed. As you let your weight fall onto it, you'll feel that softness support you, tickling your neck, holding your shoulders and your limbs in place. Lie there on the moss. Sense overhead how the woven ceiling, that dome, is made out of living lines. You might be able to detect forming a pattern, a set of shapes up there in the entwining strands. Almost words in geometrical form that are trying to Intuitively follow that pattern with your eyes. Move along the motion through the strands, the movement snaking up there like a dance. Are there circles, crosses, spirals? The shapes and the sacred geometry speak to you, revealing themselves. You've been lying here a while now, and when you rise from the bed, swing your legs over and look about, you find this dome is at the center of a spiral of willow tunnels, each leading away, curving into a green mystery. Choose one intuitively and follow that curving tunnel around, letting one foot follow the other. Abruptly, sun rays are hot on your skin. You're outdoors, walking down a hillside on a pathway that's churned by many carts, mud hardening under the sun. Before you in the valley is a medieval landscape. The fields are very narrow, tight strips, unbroken by roads or telegraph poles. The sky overhead is unmarred by aeroplanes, no tracks. But there are people here in this landscape. You see them surrounding a scraped expanse in the earth where building work is occurring. And you're trudging down alongside workers and livestock, down to where in the valley stonemasons are dressing blocks to add to the foundations rising from the earth. You hear the knock of wood against stone, the creak of ropes, people shouting orders. As you approach, there are wooden scaffolds accompanying the growing walls, and these walls are pristine, the edges are sharp, the carvings look very recent. The air holds many smells: sweat, cooking, animals, the chatter of voices swirls. Sounds that fly down like birds, shouts from the scaffolding above, down to the master mason below. Down here, plans on parchment are laid over an octagonal column base. The sunlight picks out circles, straight lines, the outlines of a cathedral nave and its transept, its towers and its walls. You find you're among the masons. You're passing your hands over those rustling plans, helping them to stay flat. And as your palms move over the ink, you sense the vision of the designers, of this newly cut, astonishing temple, rising here in the green valley to tower over the surrounding trees, the landscape, higher than anything ever before. As the masons around you gesture over this diagram, you sense they're creating, with their columns and their vaulting, a forest of stone, sprouting trees. Your hands are moving of their own accord over these inked designs, and you recognize that they're repeating a pattern, that geometric pattern you found in the dome of willow not too long ago, back when you were lying on your bed of moss. By adding these movements with your hands, you're changing the ink plans below. Add your own movement as found in the willow. Enjoy this window into the past, the faces, the sounds and the excitement, the emotions about this project starting now, stretching far into the future. You find you're back at the center of the willow spiral. Lying once again on that bed of moss. Sit up, swing your feet over the edge, stand up supporting yourself with that willow table, the chairs. And this time choose another of the tunnels that leads away from this spiral center. Intuitively choose it and begin following its curve. The leaves of willow rustle as if excited for you, and your feet in their shoes or their boots have begun to ring out on flat stone, flagstones. You find you're crossing a city plaza at night. It's dark, but the streetlights, the neon is bright. Before you is a tall, illuminated cathedral, its darkened stone twisted into blues and pinks by modern LED lights. The towers rise into the dark orange sky, floodlit, slowly changing from color to color. Around you hear traffic, the honk of horns. You smell exhaust fumes. There are people passing close by. Some are dressed for the theatre. Some have just got off work and are heading home even though it's late. There are tourists taking selfies. But you can't take your attention from the cathedral. As the sign flashes to walk now, you cross the wide road, moving with the people, going to climb the steps up to the main entrance. Now, you can visit not just for yourself, but for those distant masons and workers of centuries before. From the top step, move under one of those arched doorways. All that carving, now darkened, battered. Step inside. First you notice the smell of incense, and then there's a rush over you made by the space itself, the realization you're in a large, cavernous construction, and how it's changed. You can notice elements from the many periods of the cathedral's life. The vaulting overhead as you crane your neck to take it in. Up there it's been painted with gold, studded with LEDs in the bosses that twinkle in sequence. Down at floor level, a labyrinth in marble is laid out over the nave floor, partly hidden beneath wooden chairs, embroidered kneelers. Over it, there are tourists walking in audio headphones. Behind them, Renaissance statues on plinths, paintings by famous masters, ancient flags dangling from above. And between those ancient stones at floor level are electricity sockets where the cleaners can plug in to buff the flagstones when everybody's gone. Around you sounds echo, conversations near and far. You hear faint singing. You're standing where votive candles for the departed can be lit, and of those tea lights, each one burns with a different coloured flame. Choose a candle. Its wax will indicate what colour the flame is. To light it for all those from centuries before who built this cathedral. Keep it cupped in your hands, because now your feet are taking you towards a glass elevator that will take you up to the roof. You step inside, still cupping your flame as the doors close, and the nave begins to drop away. You're gliding upwards past statues, past stained glass that's dark with night, through the dark stone itself until doors open to the roof. Surrounded by its parapet walls, going to the edge, you reach metal grille, and over there, under the orange-black sky, the city stretches away, a web of streetlights, broken only by the cathedral's black parapet stones. You protect your candle in your cupped hand, and its coloured flame is revealing the grin of a gargoyle. A gargoyle looking down onto the city, just like you're doing. Together you watch the traffic, the red lights of the cars. You're aware of the planes banking overhead, waiting to land. In this modern age that has conquered night, stand and absorb, for the benefit of those people far back in the past, what's good and exciting in these modern times. Think of all that's good, vibrant, and exciting in this modern night right now. Once more you realize you're lying down. You're back on that bed of moss in the dome of willow. Rising, standing, now there's only one tunnel left to follow. Follow its curve, the familiar willow moving by you, a sunny world just out of reach. This tunnel widens, grows taller as you walk. You find you're climbing steps, steps of wood, steps that rise to go under an arch of curving tree trunks, set in a wall of entwining growth. You enter the cathedral one more time. This time, your feet leave a different echo on the floor, one that's softer, more organic. This time, the only human in the cathedral is yourself. The cathedral is made entirely of wood. It's grown up from the forest floor, an earthy, leafy smell, seasons, dampness and new life. Your echoing feet are muted by the forest floor of the nave. Looking upwards, you find that the forest those stonemasons planned has been realized. The columns are thick trunks rising, ivy crisscrossing them, and at their tops they offer vaulting of thick leaves. You can sense many living things in the trees, insects, birds, mammals, jumping or flying from branch to branch. Birds pushing in through the windows that hold no glass at all. And through those leaves, shafts of sunlight flow down. Golden dust spinning. At foot level, dead leaves blow about, and you walk between pews, seats that are living, sprouting willow. Once more across the nave, there's an old labyrinth, but now is formed out of roots. Roots give it ankle-high walls. You're walking between these roots, following its pattern. The labyrinth swings you one way, another, and as it loops you lazily around, weaving you in and out of the sunlight, you'll notice at times the air is colored and radiant. An astonishing number of hues, formed from white, yellow and green. But one shaft of light bursts through the windows, and that's the color that your votive candle was. And it lights the path just a few inches before where your feet fall. It guides you onwards. It knows the route through the labyrinth before you do. Follow that light. The labyrinth loops round you this way and that. And the pattern that you're following is that geometric pattern you found all the way back in that willow dome, woven into the roof. Let yourself be led by the color light along that pattern. This labyrinth won't take you to its center, but to its far side. As you approach that side, the smell of roses grows strong in your nose. You find you're before a wall of wood, climbing up which are wild roses, their heads nodding all the way up to dizzy heights. The labyrinth has brought you right to the edge of the wall. Lay your fingers on it. You'll find it smoothed, that wood, by centuries of curious fingers. As under your palms, under your fingertips, you follow the skin-polished wood, you'll pick out a smile, a nose, the curve of eyebrows. You're back on the roof of the cathedral, and you're tracing the face of the gargoyle. The gargoyle now is carved out of wood, and it looks not over the city, but over the green of a forest, a canopy seen from above. We're high above the forest top, standing on living parapets. The wooden cathedral roof rises up, a spire of tree. Before you, the forest stretches, horizon to horizon. Standing here, supported on the treetops, you can feel the tree power moving into your arms, past your shoulders. It's like the flow of sap, but very fast, energizing you. It makes your spine and your rib cage springy. Your limbs become strong and wide, mirroring the forest below. You feel every insect, every bird on the limbs down there, as if they're moving over your own arms and fingers. You feel like a giant, moving these enormous limbs. You can walk through the nave of this living cathedral, as tall as the trees. You tried ducking under the vaulting, but now you let them brush against your chest. Push through the cathedral, through the boughs, move through the trees, now you're a giant, smelling the sap in your nostrils, letting your hands rustle over the very tops of trees. Move forwards in the sunlight and breathe greenery. Breathe strength into every cell of your giant's body. It's time now to begin saying farewell, in your own way, to this forest that has accepted you and shown you so much. This cathedral has been a friend over so many years. Remember that medieval valley, the plans your hands moved over and influenced. Remember walking through the modern building at night, up to the roof. And remember finding its green heart just now. Breathe in the earthiness of the forest once more. Now you walk at normal size. Trees are arcing over your head. You are on the forest floor, but you still have the strength deep inside your bones to carry with you into your waking life. You realize you're leaving a tunnel of willow, and if you turn and look behind you now, there is that wall of trees and shrubs, that flowering wall from the very beginning. That great wall is sealed. From those treetops, those tall flowers, the wind now finds you, fragrant, warm and strong. It moves around your shoulders, over your head, and you feel as light as a leaf yourself, as if you're a feather or a speck of dust. That breeze, as it moves round you, can easily let you fall onto your back and pick you up. And we will ride that breeze back now. Allow yourself to rise, circling, spiraling. Let the colors of that wall recede into the back of your mind, the forest behind them becoming a green blur. Instead, what's calling to us is where we've left our bodies, sitting or lying down. Allow yourself to be moved in that direction to where you know your body is. Go through the rooftops, the ceiling. Find your body and position yourself a few inches above it. And we'll move down into that body, breathing gently. Each breath a soft falling of cool sand. Breathe in and imagine there's an almost silent, silvery sand dropping all the way down through your body, down to find where your feet are, your soles, your heels and your toes. The cool sand is pooling down there, bringing weight to that part of you. And breathing in again, the sand continues to fall. Now it's filling your ankles, your calves, up to your knees. Breathe in once more and feel that weight dropping down from your knees to fill your thighs all the way up to the hips. Breathing in again, the sand flows down softly, bringing weight to your tummy, up each bone of the spine to the ribs. And now our torso, as we breathe in and out gently, is filling with sand, becoming the right weight, so that the whole of your body from the neck down is feeling yours again, attached in the right places. Breathe in again, and this time let's go down the arms. Take that soft, cool sand all the way down to your fingertips, palms and wrists. Begin to fill your forearms up to the elbows. Let that weight fill your upper arms to your shoulders. Breathe in and be aware of your neck returning to the right weight, your head, the space between your ears, under the curve of your skull. Put that little point of you that thinks back where it normally lives, between the eyes, in the forehead. Try wiggling your toes and your fingers. And when you feel you are fully back, breathe in and open up your eyes.